Hello everyone, welcome to another episode. Today's video we're going to be hopefully finishing off the exhaust, the middle section, and I want to go over a couple of bits that I've been doing, you know, off camera as usual. That's the theme here. If you remember in the last video I said that I was waiting for a V-band to turn up from Turbo Zentrum in Germany. I think they're in the UK, Manchester, but they get everything from Germany. So V-band's turned up. I've gone for one of the new like quick release. You know, it's got a little quick release catch on it there. So real nice, decent quality bit of kit. It's got the little groove on the inside there. You know, so it's not just a flat main surface. So they lock together, and then it's got a recessed edge where it nicely sits into the pipe. I'll show you in a minute, but. Yeah, V-band, so that's for the centre connections, you know, the one that's going to go back to the original catback, so to speak. So we need to chop that as well, chop the original catback off. But yeah, V-band. And then shout out to Lee. I went to his the other night. I put a post on Facebook. Turbo Zentrum and Fabco, they've all run out of stock of these bellows for the wastegate. And he commented on my post and said, look, I've got one. Pop down. So yeah, he's given me a couple of these. So this is going directly onto we're going to have a little short stub coming off the wastegate, V-band, little short stub, then this, and then the rest's going into the system. So that pipe's here. That's all it is. That's going straight on top of there. Nice weld. And then this is getting cut out at like sort of a 45 degree, less than that probably, but and then it's going back into the system. I'll show you. I'll show you that, but I'm just going to want to go over first the bits that you've missed since, you know, I've done a couple of bits not recorded. So firstly, I've done a rear exhaust hanger, and I'll show you that in place, but I was fathoming out how to mount. The back box has never had a right hand side mount since we put it in this chassis, because I thought it's not necessary, and it never fell off, so it was all right. But anyway, it needs a mount really. So I've just drilled up into the chassis, that bolts through, tack welded a washer on, and yeah, we've got a hanger for the back. So I've got another one of these to make today for the centre. And oh yeah, that's another good thing that I should go over. We've got a nice new addition underneath the car. Shout out to Andy Hughes. He's made me a new gearbox cradle. So I'll put a picture in the screen, but I'll obviously go underneath the car and show you it fitted. But we was having some, not issues, it would have still worked, but it was very tight on the gearbox cradle, the exhaust system. So Andy's actually made me up a custom gearbox cradle out of T45 steel, and it's the hoop, instead of going on the driver's side to clear the exhaust, actually goes on the passenger side now, and it's just a lot more free flowing. But that's what we're going to be doing today, so you're going to see more of that in a minute. But the other thing, my dad came up the other day. He's a joiner, if you didn't know from the original videos when he was cutting down on my splitter, but he's been at it on the splitter again. So we had a little bit of clearance issue, as I was showing you before, in this area, and we've had to take off 12mm of the splitter thickness and then put an alloy plate underneath it, but works spot on. I've added another bit as well on the back of the exhaust, and then a hanger, you know, to support the downpipe. But I won't ramble on anymore. Well, I'll get you in. I've got a head mount as well now for the GoPro, so hopefully that'll be a bit better for you to see stuff, rather than me trying to hold this, you know, whilst I'm actually doing stuff. So yeah, I'll pull you in. So here's the two bits that I wanted to show you in respect of the clearance, you know, on the exhaust. So that's the section that my dad's cut out there. You can see in the floor. Just literally cut out a jigsaw and routed it. And you can also see the bracket that I've made if it's going to focus. It's not going to focus, is it? But yeah, it basically just got a piece of stainless steel bar and then welded it onto the exhaust, and then it's on a little one of the Halford's rubbers there. Can you see onto the subframe? But yeah, it does the job, and it's very close. That bracket, it's like nearly touching. I'll pull the ramp up, and then I'll show you it from underneath, from the other side, and also I'll show you the new subframe. So, there we are. There's the new subframe. I just wanted to rudely interrupt here, but real quickly, weight saving. The original subframe's 7.1 kilos. That's with like a billet sort of polybush style mount for the gearbox in the middle, and the new gearbox mount is 2.3 kilograms. So we've got a nice little bit of a saving weight-wise as well as it being functional, you know, to clear the new exhaust. But yeah, 4.8 kilos total saving, which can't grumble at. It does look absolutely mega, that. So massive shout out to Andy for doing that. I spoke to him on the Thursday and he made it on the Friday for me, so mega. But as you can see, there's the clearance, the little clearance bit that we had on this flare. So it's just clearing it. And then Andy normally makes the hooped part here is normally on the driver's side. There, so he swapped that onto that side for me, and then he's actually removed. Normally you would have, if you can see, we'd have two mounts here. Do you know, another one here? He's removed them for just more for clearance for me, so I can now route the exhaust nicely, you know, through this section. So the exhaust's now going to. This is what we're going to do today. The exhaust's going to come round here, through here, down a little bit, and then meet up with the original exhaust on a V-band. So hopefully we'll be another step closer today, but I'll just want to get in there and show you that a bit better. You can see the clearance there is very tight. I've had to also flip this. This is what this little strengthening bar looks like normally. So the studs are pressed into the subframe and the brackets like that. I've actually had to reverse them on this one and trim all this down, you know, just to get the clearance for the exhaust there. There you can see on the top there, but yeah, very tight. But the bracket's not on the top of the engine. You know, do you remember the triangular bracket that I made to support the downpipe? And there's still there's a little tiny bit of flex, but when that bracket's on, it's solid. He can swing off this. That was the other bit of pipe that I added as well. Just from that joint there, that was where the last video ended. So we've added this pipe, and then a flex is turned up from, I don't know where I got it from, eBay probably. But I've welded around the, you know, to join, when you get them, the inside middle, you know, wire and the outside band isn't welded. It's just tacked, you know, in these bits here, electrically welded. So you have to go around and take the whole section, then machine out the middle bit, and then sand the outside, you know, so that it's sealed. So that was a bit of a pain, but I did that yesterday. So, right, I'll stop rambling again. Before I start rambling, I'll show you the bracket, you know, the exhaust bracket that I made for the rear, and then the V-band where the V-band's going there. Straight onto the existing system, so nice and easy. Yeah, I'll grab that. So the hanger, as you can see, all I've done is just drill a hole in the chassis there. Call it a chassis, the tubular shit that I made, and then it's not going that way. It's going just straight on like that, and then bolts up to the floor. Yeah, simple as that really. But as you can see, it only ever had that one OEM style mount on the whole system. So, oh sorry, I tell a lie, there's another mount there. One little rubber there, but other than that, it didn't have any, because I'd removed this one from the centre here. That's the other one, sorry, I'm a bit flippant going between stuff, but that's the other one that we're going to make today. So I've just got to make similar sort of little bracket like that to put a rubber on there. And yeah, that's it. So let's crack on. Let's get making some pie cuts. All right, let's get a new pack of gloves open. Ooh. So what I've done is, you'll know what you're doing if you're making exhaust and stuff, but I've just marked centre line down the piece of pipe, and then I've actually, I ain't got no fancy tools or anything, so I've literally just got a piece of tape. I'll show you. You'll just see it. I'll put it in the screen. But piece of tape, put it on the centre line, gone all the way around. Marked it, it does line up, you just got to hold it taut. Marked it again, then I've taken the tape off, put it on the flat surface, and then I've marked, this is where I've been using it before for other bits, but measured between the two gaps, halved it, put a half line, put the tape back on, and then marked the back line, and just drawn it through. So we've got now two datum points, so to speak. Let me get my new gloves. These are what I weld in. I've got some proper gloves. 1 minute, I'll show you. I've got some proper, I can't remember what you call these, but proper ones. But you can't TIG in them, they're just too thick. So I just use these. It seem to work fine. Get plenty of control over it. So I've set the bed on the saw to 4.5 degrees on the back. And then I've put a little mark on the edge here, and I put the pipe each time to the mark, and then my pie cuts are all the same size and the same angles on each cut. And then obviously you rotate it each time. So the first time we'll make a cut. This first one will be scrap. It won't be scrap because I'm going to put it in the flexor joint, but normally, if you was making pie cuts, this first cut would be scrapped because it would only have a 4.5 degree on one side, and you need it on both sides. So what we'll do is we literally just put it in the saw. I've made a mark. I've made a mark on the saw. You can see there on the GoPro. I've got a mark there, and all I'll do is just do the cut, rotate 180 degrees, line my line up with a mark, sorted. We'll just keep doing that until however many pie cuts you want. So now I need 10 pie cuts. 10 pie cuts. 10 pieces of this pipe, because I need 5 to make 45 degrees, because it'll have two 4.5 degree cuts on each side of the pie cut. So I need 5 pieces, which makes 10 cuts, which is 45 degrees. So 45 degrees to get me kinked over towards the centre of the car. Then I'll have a short piece of pipe, and then I'll have another 5 pieces of this to get me straight, and then I'll be able to manipulate them a little bit, you know, to get me underneath that back bit of the subframe. So yeah, we'll crack on. Get my safety glasses, of course, wherever they are. Go and have a look. There they are. Safety spectacles. Get them bad boys on. And yeah, let's go. So this first one, as I said, is scrap. I can't remember what I had it before, I'm sure it was that. You know, to support that back end. Might be in that. Real technical like. Got a drill under it, sound. So we've got it onto that mark there. Got it tied up on the back. This one doesn't actually matter about having it on that mark. You know, on this back bit, but as long as as long as the centre mark's right, which it is. There we go. Not too tight, so it bends the pipe, but that's it. Let's cut. easy as that. So there we've got one 4.5 degree cut and then one straight cut, but that's going to go right into the flexi, as I said. So yeah, I'll put you on a time lapse. You don't want to see me doing this in real time. There we have it. I've done the 5 that I need for this initial section. So I'm just going to, I'll tell you what, before I show you, obviously we just line all the lines up, and then we have a bend, but they've all got the can't think what you call it, you know, like the swarthy slag on the the rough cuts on the outside. But there you go, that's the basic idea. But I'll go on the belt sander now, and then we'll clean all these up, you know, so they have a nice bevel on them, and then see how they all fit together. Go, as if by magic. they're all done and nicely. You just see me there anyway. I just went over them on the belt sander, you know, on the edges, and then I ain't got anything else. I've got a bearing tool, like a carbide bit tool like that, but it's too harsh. It just digs in. So I just did all the edges, inside edges, by hand with a file. I'll try and hold these and show you, but we've got 4.5 degrees under 45 degrees, so we've got 40.5 degrees, you know, total, because of that. I'm using that first one and it's only got one 4.5 degree cut on it, so that should be enough to get us where we want, but you get the idea. So I'll tack these now. Well, I'm going to go mess about with them on the car, and then I'll show you the final, because obviously I need to not drop them. I need to twist them a few bits, do you know, to get it to go down a little bit to clear the back of the subframe. So yeah, I'll come back and we'll get them tacked when I've got the final position marked up with the pen. So yeah, I got a little bit carried away. Anyway, the pie cuts that you've seen me doing earlier, that was actually, no, my bad. That was these two and these two. So I initially started off at this side, and then thought I'll take the exhaust system off from here. Let me just zoom out and you'll see. Yeah, I nipped the exhaust system off from here. I made that bracket just going up into there, same as the back one. Just bolts through, and then I've bent it and put a rubber on. So then that's got me the position that I need for the rest of the exhaust, you know, to fit up. If you can see that way, and it's nice and solid, like. But yeah, V-band on. I lobbed the old flange connection off this off the exhaust here. Tack welded the V-band on, and then I've gone straight with a couple of pie cuts straight off the joint, because I had to come down a little bit, if you can see. You can't really see, but oh yeah, maybe a bit there. I've had to come down a little bit just to clear that subframe there, and then I'm obviously going off, and that's where the pie cuts come in, you know, to help me get the angle perfect. So I'm clear there, and then yeah, straight onto the flexi. The bracket's not on top of the engine, as I was saying before, so there's like a little bit, as you can see, a flex, but that's not normally. I'll show you see the bracket that's the bolt there. It's not bolted onto the engine properly up at the top, up here. But anyway, yeah, that's it, complete. So what we have to do next is whip this off. And then weld it all up, back page it, you know, put some argon up the back of it. Yeah, that's it. I'm considering putting, I don't know what everyone's thoughts are on it, I'm considering putting a V-band here, you know, another connection here, but it makes the exhaust then like 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. But I don't know if it's going to put, and it's not going to put any less stress on the downpipe because it's still a solid connection, you know, when it's clamped together. But yeah, I'm happy with how it's turned out, considering the room that we had, and the subframe looks mega. I'm going to clear coat it. Oh, the only other thing, I'll show you that back bracket. That's the back hanger that I made, which is solid. So the only other thing I need to do now is just put another, I did put one lambda boss in there. Let me bring the ramp down. Yeah, I'll zoom in. I've put one lambda there. Luckily, that's not the right lambda, by the way. This is just an old lambda that I used for welding. But the wires for the, you can't see them, but the wires that comes from the ECU is just long enough, so I don't need to buy an extension lead. The only other one I've got to put in, I'm going to put it maybe a bit lower, like down here. But I just need to put in the lambda for the AEM, you know, for the wideband in the car, because it sounds daft, but that's feeding the ECU with, you know, lambda info, and then the other, which is obviously logged and recorded, and then I want just a secondary, which I've got going to a gauge in the car, but it also goes to the dash, and the dash also logs. So it's just like a secondary measure that's free. So there, do you know what I mean? So I'm going to put the second lambda in there. So yeah, the only other job I've got left to do now is the wastegate pipe, which is literally just going, I don't know if I showed you before, but it's going like that, nice and easy. Just a nice little 45. So I just need to, I'll do that probably in the next video now. So I'll do a video by itself. But we are now, let me flip the camera around. Yeah, so we're now getting even closer, but we've just got we've got a wastegate pipe to do, and we've got all the pipes coming from Aaron at APB. You know, all the AN fitting line stuff. So that'll be in the next video because they're arriving this coming week, Sunday now here. So yeah, tune into the next video and we'll be doing the wastegate. Take it easy. Yeah, I just wanted to add another couple of pictures, still images. As usual, I did some more welding, you know, off camera. So here's the pictures of me doing it anyway with the back paging, you know, with the argon up the back of the pipe, as I was saying, to protect the back of the welds. But yeah, you can see it was a bit of a pain manhandling it in the vise, and then I've actually had to add another hanger on the subframe. I thought, you know, just to give it a bit more support. But yeah, that's what that is there in these pictures. You can just see just another tab onto Andy's subframe.